Good day, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. You got your morning drink on deck. It is a beautiful day where I am. The sun is shining. It's going to be like my favorite degree, 78 degrees today. Breezy, sunny, warm, but not too warm. Love it. Listening to some upbeat music to kind of set the mood for our conversation today. I'll wait for you guys to populate. I apologize for my tardy, man. I'm normally not so off the mark with my timing, but today was special. So, welcome to the conversation, everybody. How are you? This is Morning Talks with Ro. I figured that I would do something, I would continue with the series that I've created. Hey, Shirley. That I will continue with the series that I've created in support of the next round of transformation for my online coaching school, Personal Power University. We're going to be launching the next great adventure at the school on May 21st. And so I'm doing something in preparation of that. It's called How to Transition in Life, Coping Skills. How many of us need that? Everybody, right? Everybody could use some coping skills, especially as it pertains to transition. And transition can come in many forms, right? It can come in the form of loss of so many things. Loss of a home, your place of residence, loss of a loved one, loss of a position at a job, any type of loss or anything that may, there's a loud truck coming by today. Anything that may push you to step outside of your comfort zone, especially when you don't want to. How do you transition? So I'm going to be sharing like 12 tips over 4 sessions. And the first 3 I'm going to share with you today. But let me say what's up to everybody. Okay, let's see. Hey, Shirley. Hey, Shamika. Hey, Trey. That's right, baby. Grand Rising, dear. Oh, thank you, Gina. Coping skills, yes ma'am. I've been in a terrible in that area. So many people. Hey cuz, what up, Ebony? How are you? So yeah, we're going to be talking about how to transition in life today. Coping skills. I'm going to turn this music down just a bit. Okay, so the first coping skill, as a matter of fact, before we even start that, let me get you guys warmed up. Talk to me in the chat about something that maybe any of you are transitioning with in life right now, so that if maybe I can speak to something specific, that'll expand the conversation. It'll stretch us in perspective, and who knows what's going to come out of this conversation. Hey, Mary Ellen, how are you? How you doing? Let's see what's going on here. So talk to me, you guys. What do you work? Hey, good morning, Tiffany. Thank you for my products yesterday. Yeah, baby, moringa in the spot. Good nutrition, power up. What you know about powering up? Shout out to PPU. So, is anybody that's listening to the conversation right now, are you dealing with a transition in life that you would like some insight about? Hey, Sam, how are you? Welcome to the conversation. Before I jump into the first tip today, or the first strategy today for dealing with transition in life, would you guys like to share with me what you might be dealing with, a transition you're looking at or you're facing right now? Okay, so maybe I'm just gonna share the first tip. Hey, Armani. Good morning, Robin. I'm gonna share the first tip, and we'll see if that kind of moves the dialogue along between us. So the first tip is to accept that change is a normal part of life, right? I don't know how many of you all tuned into my recent IG live video, but I'm going to be sharing some tips, and I'm probably going to share from the same angle, but slightly different aspects of the same angle. But if you watch any of my Morning Talk with Ro in the past, I talk about the 6 human needs, and 2 of those human needs are certainty and uncertainty. We definitely need certainty, right? We want certainty in order to give us some sense of stability, to make us feel like, things aren't just haywire. When you wake up in the morning, if you were in a new house, right? If you walked downstairs and you had another car, if you turned over and your spouse was different, whoa, that would make you feel crazy, right? We do want a certain measure of certainty so that we have boundaries, we have things that make us feel like we're safe, right? Things that remind us that we're in our personal lives, on our personal journey, right? So certainty is very, very important as it pertains to one of the 6 human needs. But the other side of that is its complete opposite, and that is uncertainty. And we need that as well in order to keep this thing called life an adventure. Can you imagine if this was continuously, and for some of us it is, but not so much so, but it is, Groundhog Day, meaning nothing changed. You went the same route to work every day. You saw the same people. You had the same conversations. You had the same food. You had the same thoughts, the same everything. Can you imagine how boring and uneventful life would be if everything was the same? So uncertainty is a necessity as well as it pertains to our 6 human needs, because this is what keeps things interesting. So when change happens, a lot of it has to do with how we look at it, right? A lot of it has to deal with the meaning that we give it. A lot of it has to deal with looking at it as an adventure even, right? And also an opportunity to grow, right? We always talk about that. Also an opportunity to reveal more character in you, to reveal more grit. Challenge gives us something to push against us. It's just like when you work out, and how would you build muscle if you didn't have some measure of resistance? If you didn't have some measure of shifting in weights? If I just lift air, ain't much happening. You know what I mean? I might go ahead and stimulate the muscle, but it's not really pumping it up. I got to go pick something up in order to create that kind of resistance and pressure in order to build something. So change can build things. Change presents the pressure to become more. Love it. Okay, what are you guys saying? Hey. Okay, so a new move is somebody doing that transition. Moringa in the spy, bless up. You always have on beautiful jewelry. Thank you. Shout out to my brother Amun. He hooks me up. Not these. We just designed this together. I think I want to start a jewelry line. Okay, we designed this together. Got that. Got my labradorite on. I got my ankh on with my yellow jasper, my red garnet, and my clear quartz. Man, I come in. I feel like a superhero. I'm powered up, man. Let's see. Trey says, getting my production back up and running to exhaustion. Oh, wait. Oh, 2-row vision. Bless up. Hey, Saray. Welcome to the conversation. EC, what up? Transitioning back. Let's see. It's okay to have uncertainty. How do you utilize that? Okay, hopefully you got the answer to that as I continue to flesh out the idea. Change is necessary for growth. Absolutely. Good morning, Denise. Hey, Devon. So yeah, hopefully as I continue to talk about the 2 human needs that we have of the 6, certainty and uncertainty, you realize the necessity of both. One gives us stability, helps us to remember that we're in our life, right? We know where we're going. The skills that we've been developing all our lives can still be used and built upon at our jobs and in our relationships. The other, uncertainty, keeps this thing interesting. Keeps it fun, hopefully, keeps it an adventure, helps to build character, helps to give us a reason to grow, to build that strength muscle, mental toughness in life muscle, right? Second skill for how to transition in life, coping skills. This is what we're sharing today. If anybody just joined the conversation, I'm doing this in support or preparation for the next round of transformation at my online coaching school, Personal Power University. It's starting on May 21st. If you think it's something that you're interested in joining our family, put yes in the comments. What up, Jeremy? Write yes in the comments and I will reach out to you in a direct message and we can set up a call and see if this is a good fit for you. It's been one of the most rewarding things I have ever done, to pour into other people and to create breakthrough, to find ways to, what they say, life hack into your limiting beliefs. If you got emotional trauma that you're dealing with, that's something that I specialize in. If you are trying to map out your goals for your life and get there. I help you with that as well. And then you have this incredible support system in the people that have been through PPU. Now they're alumni, as well as myself. I'm very hands-on, which is why I can only take on so many students, very few students at one time, because of course, I got my traveling to do. I'm always studying, I'm always creating, and then I want to be there for you to make sure that your experience is the most fantastic that it can be, or that I can put my best foot forward for you. So if you're interested in PPU, write yes in the comments. This conversation in particular is in support of that launch. Yeah, baby. I think this is probably my 9th class. Shout out to Coach Ro for keeping it going. Persistence, follow through is our superpower. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. Follow through is our superpower. And sometimes it is like the scariest thing for me to launch on this stuff, because I'm like, I don't know who I'm about to help. I don't know, what person is going to be presented to me, what situations I'm going to learn about and have to stretch and become more to help with for me as well. So it's quite the adventure. It's been very rewarding for me. What up, everybody? Welcome to the conversation. Let's see what you're saying. Shamika, you already in the course. Alumni on deck. Okay, Armani says, I'm learning that the uncertainty of life leads to growth. And if you believe in the law of attraction, you can call on the universe to make it whatever you want. You better speak about it this morning. Uncertainty. Uh-oh, forgive me. I went too far. Sorry. Come on, baby. Okay, uncertainty is the perfect blueprint to create the life you have always wanted. With faith, belief, a willingness to do the necessary work, except as you speak this morning, and a relaxed mindset, you will be successful. It has to manifest physically. I love it, Armani. Thank you for that contribution to the conversation. Tiffany says, last night was somewhat of a transition. Did my first speaking engagement about health, wellness, and mindfulness in a workshop for my fellow music artists. My world's coming together. Bless up. Shout out to your persistence, Tiffany. Transitioning out of your nursing job, a registered nurse. Tiffany is a PPU alumni as well, and has now become an entrepreneur with her company, selling life-giving nutrition. And also is still an artist. Go girl, okay? And now merging her worlds. Powerful. What's up, Miss Lady? Beautiful, Jeremy. I'm glad to hear it. Let's see. Christina, welcome to the conversation. I love it. Okay, so we did the first step, or the first tip today, this first strategy for how to transition in life. Coping skills is accept that change is a normal part of life, right? So what you resist persists. If you're resisting change, it makes it more difficult. If you can accept that it's a normal part of life, that there's something to gain from going through this change, and you're willing to find it, and I promise you, even if it's telling you what not to do, there is always something good to gain from change, right? Something that you can learn. Let's say it like that. You may not deem it good. Good and bad, that's all relative. But something that you can learn, definitely, right? Number 2, identify your values and life goals. Yes. You guys hear me speak a lot about winters. This is very similar to the opportunity that when change comes in, and especially when it throws you off, especially when you feel like you are out of your comfort zone, this can be a good time to get back in touch with, if you're out of touch with it, your values and your life goals. Maybe something's calling your attention to make a move. Have you been dragging your feet? Have you been procrastinating about something? Have you been putting a dream on the back burner because you don't know how you're going to pull it off, or what resources you might need, or what people or things you might need to be connected to in order to pull it off? What is stopping you from making a transition? Maybe there is a transition that's calling you that you're not making. And so now you're feeling the effects of that via depression, low energy, anger, resentment, grudges, unforgiveness, low vibrational frequency. You might be living in that constantly because you're not really living the life you want to live. And transition is calling you, and for whatever reason you are resisting it. Is there anybody in the chat that's dealing with that? You want to keep it real? Maybe we can give you some insight to stretch you and give you some perspective that's going to move you towards your dreams. It's going to help you to take the next bold step, because that's probably what it requires, a bold step. There are things that I am doing and that I've done that I had to feel the fear and do it anyway. There's some stuff you're just not going to be able to do it comfortably. If you're really looking for change, if you really need to make a transition out of a job, out of a relationship, out of something that has been trying to get your attention but you have been resisting, it may require you to live in uncomfortability until it gets done. You may have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Let's see what you're saying. I see you guys talking. I love it. Let's see. Okay. Miss Lady says, oh my God, let me just tell you, I'm so wonderfully grateful with the tools given in helping me structure my ways. I just directed Lazy Bone of Bone Thugs and Harmony new video. Really? That's so amazing. Coming out of your schooling. New music video and head of the project now. Bless up. Congratulations. That is amazing news. Jeremy says, please say hello to the other Mouseketeers at your anniversary. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Love you back. Looking forward to that. Our MMC 30 is coming up. If you want to get tickets, I think we're coming up on the last day that you guys can purchase tickets to be accommodated for this huge event that's coming up in Orlando. We look forward to seeing you guys. Okay, Martell says, hey Martell, good morning, beautiful. It's been a while. I'm here to listen and catch up. Bless up. Welcome to the conversation. Nita says, yes, dragging your feet. Yes, yes, yes. Tara says, fear. Bless up. Thanks for your transparency. Okay. Let's see. Sam says, I am transitioning into being a father as of the second Saturday record and CE show. I'm not sure what that is. Afraid of failing. Okay. Tara, hello. Okay. Identify your values and life goals. Thank you for listing what the tips are, what the strategies are. Do it anyway. Being a father as of Saturday. Congratulations, Sam. That's amazing. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. PPU is a life-changing program and you get the best coach and supportive family. Thank you, Shirley. You've been a wonderful alumni. And yes, PPU is amazing. And I'm looking forward to the growth that we are destined to continue having. Oh, your wife is going, bless up. Hey, Marcus, welcome to the conversation. Welcome. Good morning, Vita. Okay. So, this is an opportunity. Strategy 2, how to transition in life. This is an opportunity for you to get back in touch with your value system. Maybe some of the things or the ways that you're living is out of touch with what you really value, who you really value. Maybe you're doing things that don't even align with your values. And so that's why you need to make a transition, or that's why transition is calling on you, or it's like a monkey on your back. You can't get it off because you know you're out of alignment with your real joy. You know you are, but you're afraid to make a move. And have you asked yourself why? Are you too afraid to ask yourself why because you know you're going to get the answer? Or maybe you already know the answer and you're trying to drown it out with doubt and worry and fear and excuses. Right? It's also an opportunity to get back in touch with your life goals. What do you want? Are you living for someone else's approval? Are you living life on purpose for you? Do you feel like you're even in touch with a purpose, let alone your purpose, a purpose for your life? These are the things that we definitely tackle at PPU. So if you are interested in joining my online coaching school where I am hands-on, holla at your girl, write yes in the comments and I will get back to you with a direct message and we'll see if it's a good fit. Let's see what you're saying. Marcus says, with all of my talk, I didn't value myself as much as I thought. Wow. Wow. Thank you for your transparency, Marcus. What do you mean by that? Flesh that out for me this morning, please, sir. Chantiel, great morning, dear. Can't believe that I caught a talk with bro. Yay. So good to see you. So proud of you. And looking forward to your talk at this year's retreat for PPU. Jeremy, Trey, good morning, my friend. Okay, you guys are catching up. So, is there anybody that has a monkey on their back that is calling for a transition and you're afraid to do it? What is that transition that is calling you? Are you willing to say it out loud in the chat? Are you afraid to say it? Because sometimes when we put it on Front Street, it makes us have to deal with the reality of it. And quite possibly, it creates accountability to do something about it. So what do you think? Are you going to share? Shamika, what are you afraid of? Good morning, Candace. Welcome back to the Morning Talks with Ro, baby. Congratulations on successfully completing the digital cleanse. I don't know how many of you all were tuned in last time we did a digital cleanse. And that was one of the best things I ever did. I didn't even realize how much I needed that, how much I don't miss social media and being on the computer devices at all. And I have been watching some things, you guys, that have been speaking about the science of the breakdown of the brain as it pertains to using these devices, how it breaks down our focus, how it takes away. And you know I've talked about this in videos past, but I've been coming up on more and more information that keeps telling me just how detrimental it can be if you continue to let these devices and social apps run your life. They're calling it digital dementia. They're coming up with new terms to speak about how the brain is being retrained and programmed and conditioned out of focus, how it's shutting us down. We think we're more connected than ever, right? We can touch people from all over the globe, but people in the same room are sitting next to each other on their phone. We're not even connecting on an organic level. So people's interpersonal skills are reducing. Don't even know how to meet people anymore. Totally uncomfortable meeting people in an organic way. Isn't that interesting? And what is that going to mean to our ability to relate and connect and keep relationships, healthy relationships, romantic relationships on top of it, moving forward? If we don't even know how to connect anymore, you're so busy living the digital life that the organic one is being neglected. And any muscle we don't use, we can lose. Totally out of touch. And think that we say we're more in touch than ever. Isn't that interesting? And I can't wait to start the book club that I'm going to do. I'm just waiting to clear a name that I have for it because I'm excited to do some things with the name. But there's a book that I'm reading right now about AI, artificial intelligence. Really powerful book. And it's just talking about how things are shifting as far as the power of where it's being developed, how it's going to be so infiltrated in our lives. But it's not so much doom and gloom. It does take you to a space of like empowerment. But first you got to understand the landscape of what's happening. Do yourself a favor and break away from this stuff. One of the major commodities that I always talk about during Morning Talks with Ro is your ability to focus. That is a commodity. They say that attention is the new monetary gain. And when you think about it, it is. Everybody wants your attention. And these social engineers have figured out how to get it. They figured out how to give you clickbait based on the things that you've searched on prior. They figured out how to give you what they want you to have based on your algorithms. So now, for example, I remember years ago, I was talking to a friend of mine and we both decided to Google the word queen at the same time. And I found this very interesting. When he pulled up queen, I guess based on his search history, he pulled up like Queen Nefertiti, queens from Africa. When I pulled up Queen, I guess because I'm a musician and maybe my searches at that time were more music based, I pulled up the band Queen. Whoa. So that means that not only am I getting information curated to me based on my old search things, that means you're keeping me in a box as far as what you're exposing me to. So unless we go outside of our box to go and look for specific information, you're not even getting what else could be associated with those words. That's how controlled your perception is. That is how controlled, I got chills right now. That is how controlled our perception is if you let it. You have to be conscious about going out and actually finding information. We got to go old school, you guys. Even if you treat this thing as a search tool, you still got to treat it like an encyclopedia. We just have to go out and find things. And sometimes you might want to just put different words in your search engine to scramble the search engine so that you start to get different things to populate for yourself. Because look at that, I was limited in my scope for what they gave me as far as Queen was concerned. The top choices that I had as opposed to the top choices that he had were very different. This is what's happening with our information. We think that we're more connected. We think that we're getting what we need to get, and maybe we're not. And then on top of it, anybody and everybody can add information to the internet. Anybody and everybody can add things to Google. So unless you do more extensive research, if you just take the first things on face value, you could be pulling from incorrect information. And you know the telephone game, right? The telephone game, for those of you who might not be aware, it's like when we tell somebody something in their ear, right? Let's say we're sitting in a circle of 30 people. The first person tells the first message. You whisper that into the person's ear. Now, hopefully they catch everything you said, because if you miss a word, then now that interpretation is already wrong going to the next person. But let's say they do get all the words right. If they say it with a different vocal inflection, for example, let me see if I can put something out there. So Timmy went to the store on Friday, May 12th, and he picked up some groceries for the party on Saturday. Now, somebody else might take that message and say, Timmy went to the store and picked up some stuff for the party. And then the next person say, Timmy went to the store and picked up some stuff for the dope party. You just added a word, or you changed the inflection. You changed how you say it, and that's going to change the meaning that the other person interprets it as, right? Vocal inflection can change how we perceive something. The way we say a word, the word that we use can change how we perceive it. That's what can happen with Google. We put in just an extra word. We take off just an extra little something, and this is now put up as truth. And now who knows? I don't know. So extensive research is necessary on our behalf still, even though you can have it at your fingertips. Scrambling the pattern of your search engine could be very necessary so that you get more things populating back to you. Being willing to step outside of your box and search for things that don't have anything to do with anything you would normally be interested in could be good for you, just to change the algorithms of what you get sent back. And learn this brilliant tip from an entrepreneur. This tip was shared with me for those of you who are familiar with Dale Garboldo, my fellow Mouseca brother. He was telling me that there was a CEO that was saying, in order for him to stay fresh with ideas and on the cutting edge, basically, of creativity, he would allow himself to search different things that had absolutely nothing to do with what he would normally be interested in searching. So let's say that he's running a company that does Post-its, right? He may go on YouTube and look up how to make slime. And then he may also look up how to learn how to do the backstroke. And then he may look up like this country line dancing. Super, super duper random, but you never know that just by scrambling the pattern and opening yourself up to another creative way to see life and just creative things that are happening in life, how that can give you inspiration to create something for your company. And supposedly by looking up slime or something, he figured out how to color code his system to produce better for his company. You never know where your ideas will come from if you will just expand your scope. I done went off subject, but this was good. This was good. Okay, so that was number 2, identify your values and life goals. Number 3, how to transition in life, coping skills. Learn to identify and express your feelings. Well, this is kind of what we're doing here. Sometimes if we don't take the time to express ourselves, especially when we're going through a major transition, if you're trying to hide it, right? If you're trying to hide it, if you're afraid to share because you're ashamed of something, I don't know what kind of transition it might be that you're going through, but it could be very necessary to find a place that you feel is as non-judgmental as possible to just express. Not only does it give you the opportunity to counsel yourself just because you get an opportunity to talk and whatever thoughts have been swirling in your mind and in your heart to be expressed are out there now for you to just deal with in plain sight. It also just gives you a place to release. and to know that it's okay. And it doesn't have to turn into some kind of toxic behavior because you're not dealing with it head on. Sometimes if we don't take the time to find a healthy space or place or way to express ourselves, it can show up in alcohol abuse. We can turn to drugs, trying to bury it, drown it out, but it's still going to be there when you come out of that drunken stupor or that drug-induced state of being, right? It may turn into arguments, low vibrational behavior. It may turn into lashing out, mistreating your kids, mistreating your loved ones. It may turn into just a nasty, bad attitude that you're dragging around with you, possibly compromising your relationships, possibly shutting down opportunity at work because nobody wants to work with you or be around your energy, right? So we need a healthy space and place to express, just to deal with it. And even if you can't find a person, sometimes it can be good to do something called a brain drain. And that's where you would get a pad and you would just take the mental censor out, that thing that might say, don't express yourself like that, or, don't think like that. Tell that to go take a back seat. If you need to even curse and just vomit on paper what you feel. And I highly recommend that you don't look at that at least for 2 weeks, or just don't look at it again. Just vomit on paper. Let out how you feel. Let out all that toxicity. That can be a great release. So dealing with transition, you need I think it's very, very powerful and healthy to have an outlet, hopefully a non-judgmental outlet to express yourself so that you can move through the emotions. You can move through the stages of whatever it is you're dealing with, whether it's grief, depression, anger, fear. A lot of those are fear-based thoughts. Anyway, so does anybody want to share anything with me before I get out of here? Those are the first 3 strategies I'm sharing with you today. Shout out to the to the walk off of the beaten path, speaking about digital cleansing and digital dementia and what can happen and what's happening with our search engines and algorithms and how you may think that you're free, but you're really not. We have to be way more proactive about getting out there and searching out information and people and things to help us stay stretched and keep our perspectives fresh. Let's see what you're saying. Hey, Eric. Because they control the narrative, the information is always limited. We always have to go further to find out the actuality of facts. The spark of new innovations comes from going beyond the normal, yes. And this is not limited to business. God gave us a world with a plethora of newness every day, and all we have to do is open up to it. Absolutely. Well said. Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome everybody else who came on board. So is there anything else you guys want to say before I get out of here? Let's see. Armani, you said my transition has been from 3D to 4D and ultimately to 5D. I'm not at 5D yet. Okay, speak on it. But I am getting up to 4D. My whole life I gave my power away, and I had to cut people off. I love dearly. Wow. But many, let me see if I can get that to move for me. Oh, you wrote a nice little dissertation. Let me see what you got here. And I have had to cut people off I love dearly, but many of them were not good or healthy for me. I cried a lot. And being that I was going through this transition, I was even, forgive me you guys, I was even more vulnerable and sensitive. And as you know, that kind of transition may come with a side effect of depression because you just don't know what's happening. It's been this for the last 2 years, and my life has changed drastically. I've had to become completely with being uncomfortable, but some really beautiful things have happened as a result. Beautiful. I have self-love and confidence that I never had before. I'm still a work in progress. Bless up, aren't we all? And doing the work, but it is rewarding. I have had to confront a lot of painful things, but now I'm learning to be free. Bless up. That's what's up, man. Good for you. Good for you. If anybody is interested in facing that with someone else like myself and your tribe that you would be going through this transformational journey at PPU with, write yes in the comments and I will reach out to you and see if it's a good fit. It is a vulnerable playground. It is an opportunity to come and not be who you think you need to be. It is an opportunity to leave your representative at the door, because a lot of us are functioning as our representative and we are not really who we are. We don't even know what we like. We don't even know who we are because we've been too busy living for other people or showing up in life in the way that we think everybody else wants us to show up, or that we need to show up in order to be accepted by everyone else. But can you imagine building from your authenticity up and then merging that with your representative? Because yes, we got to do some transitional things in life, and you want to be able to relate to people, and there's certain ways that certain things that you may have to acquiesce or adhere to if you have a job, but you want to find your power, your real center of power, from your authenticity. I highly recommend it. So if you're looking for a place to do that in a healthy space, come and check out PPU. Let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you, Tiffany. Girl, those brain drains, I use that as an outlet. Is refreshing and effective. Good talk. Well, bless up. I'm glad you got much value. Good morning, Timothy. Yes, thank you for keeping it real with us every time. You are an incredible soul. You're truly appreciated and loved. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Thank you. So if you guys don't have anything else, this has been a good talk for Morning Talks with Ro. I hope you enjoyed it and got much value. Who am I really? Unlearn what I've learned. That's an opportunity that people can do at PPU. Come and discover who you really are. Come and uncover what's really not you. Come and do some emotional healing. Come and kiss your boo-boos, as I like to say, because some of us need to reparent ourselves, especially if we didn't get good parenting. We don't think we did. If we didn't get the kind of love and support that we think we needed, you might have to reparent yourself. You have to create a support system. You have to create it. We have to be proactive about creating the life that we want to see, that we'd like to experience. Stretch in perspective about what else this journey can mean to you. Come and do that at PPU if you'd like. We start on May 21st. Join the PPU family. We're going to be doing our second retreat in Vegas this year. I'm so excited about one of the treats that I have to unveil soon for our Saturday night that weekend. I know some of the students are in here, so we got something really cool coming up that's exclusive to the university. What my vision for PPU is to take us around the world, to different parts of the world, and do these retreats so that you get an opportunity to see the world. Stretch in perspective, stretch in what's possible, stretch in who you are, stretch in who you get to know, who you get to meet. And then of course we have our award ceremony where every year everybody gets to stretch into a greater ideal. Every year everybody gets to go after something that makes them become more, become a greater version of themselves. So I'm sending love to everybody. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Until next time, for the next 3 tips on how to cope or how to transition in life, coping skills. I will see you soon. Bye.